Yes, thanks, Mark. Here we are in the deep south of Russia, inside the Fisht Stadium. And yes, we saw those pictures as well in the tunnel as the teams are just waiting to be called to walk out onto the pitch. The two captains of Spain and Portugal, the teammates at Real Madrid, Sergio Ramos, saw Cristiano Ronaldo walking across to him. We could see the back of his head, we could see Sergio Ramos, and it was almost as if he was looking at Ronaldo. Are you going to smile? Are you going to smile? And Ronaldo obviously did smile, and Sergio Ramos smiled back at him, and it was actually quite a friendly.
It's when you put your first foot on that pitch, that goes out the window.
All that
little shaking hands and smiling and are you all right, mate? That goes out the window.
So Chris Waddle is with us here in Sochi, this sporting resort, this holiday location. We have the palm trees, and we have the beach, and we have the parasols, and we have the sun loungers. They're about 300 yards away from where we're sitting here. But we have the World Cup as well in Sochi, and the teams are now appearing below us, walking out side by side, these Iberian neighbours of Portugal and Spain. Portugal in the deep red shirts, no tracksuit tops for them, and Spain, España, walking out in their bright red, their scarlet tracksuit tops, with España written across the back of them. The mascots are there as well in their yellow shirts and red shorts, and they line up in front of the two teams. The attendance inside the stadium is not bad. I'm not sure where all of these people have come from. But everyone now ready for the anthems. It does appear that there are many more Spanish supporters inside the stadium than there are Portuguese.
Totally agree. I've looked around, yeah. I mean, what we can't see below at the stand, there's a lot of Portuguese to a left, with a big bunch of them over there, but yeah, the majority of the stadium, Spain.
Yeah, Fernando Santos, the coach of Portugal, said to us yesterday that he was expecting around about 1,500 fans. This is for the European champions, Portugal. But if it's not a culture of yours to follow your national team abroad, then that is how it is. But you could tell, actually, we saw close-ups of the players down there, and we know it, Chris, don't we? As we're sitting up here in the stand on the top tier, it's a very close, humid atmosphere inside the stadium tonight. We might have the possibility of thunderstorms later, and it is very much a southern European occasion, isn't it?
Well, and not bother these two, will they? They get lovely weather most of the year, so it's just like playing at home for both sides.
Let me run you through the teams again. Portugal with Rui Patricio in goal, back four of Cedric Soares of Southampton, Pepe and Jose Font in central defence, 34 and 35, Rafael Guerreiro at left back, and then in midfield Bernardo Silva of Manchester City, William Carvalho, João Moutinho, Bruno Fernandes on the left hand side, one of the rising stars of Portuguese football, and then Gonçalo Guedes, and Cristiano Ronaldo captains the team. And Spain captained by Sergio Ramos with David De Gea in goal, a back four of Nacho, Gerard Piqué and Sergio Ramos, Jordi Alba at left back, Sergio Busquets and Koke, David Silva of Manchester City, Isco, Andres Iniesta, who of course is leaving Barcelona this summer to head for Japan, and Diego Costa up front. So we hope we are going to be peaking early with this first nighttime kickoff at World Cup 2018. This is just the fourth match of the tournament, but this was the group match that stood out when the draw was made in the Kremlin in December. And yet you cannot help but think, what on earth is Julen Lopetegui thinking? The former coach of Spain, who 2 days ago was expecting to be where Fernando Hierro is standing now.
John, I can't believe they couldn't sort it out after the World Cup. I mean, listen, he could have kept it quiet, did an agreement, but get on with this. Help Spain win the World Cup and then take the job.
Spain are playing in their white change kit tonight. We're waiting for the nod from the officials. Gianluca Rocchi, the experienced Italian referee, is in charge in the middle, and he is waiting to get the signal from television. Cristiano Ronaldo is prowling around on the balls of his feet, and he's actually walking towards the centre circle now. In the first half, Spain are going to be playing from left to right as we look here in this futuristic Fisht Stadium here in Sochi. This is the stadium, I'm sure you've seen the pictures. It's the one that looks as though there's been a huge slice taken out of it from end to end, and it is glowing red and blue and white in this roofs above our heads, the colours of the Russian national flag. So I think the formalities have now been completed. Indeed, we are having a countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1 to kick off here in Sochi, and Diego Costa gets the first touch and plays it back behind him to Sergio Busquets, and Spain already assuming possession of the ball, which of course the 2010 World Cup winners simply love to do. And if this is an indication, there's been no attempt at all so far from Portugal to press Spain in possession. They are allowing them to have the ball. So the ball is played out by Spain to the right-hand side here, and Rafael Guerreiro, the left-back, gets the first touch for Portugal, nods it out of play off David Silva, and Portugal have the ball. Portugal in the red shirts and green socks. David Silva nips it back from Rafael Guerreiro, but couldn't find the pass through to Diego Costa. Forward it goes for Portugal, headed away by Jordi Alba. Now the ball on the right-hand side with little Bernardo Silva, who we know so well after the excellent season that he's just had with Premier League winners Manchester City. Portugal going all the way back into their own half to these two central defenders, Pepe and José Font. You know, that has been one of the issues about the age of many of the members of this Portuguese side, and certainly an area obviously that Spain will be looking to get at them. But here they come now on the left-hand side with Bruno Fernandes, now on the edge of the area. Guedes tries to slip a ball through. Bernardo Silva's onto it on the edge of the penalty area, and in the end it's whacked away by Jordi Alba to comparative safety for Spain. It's swung out towards the left-hand side as Spain come again. Fernando Santos, the Portuguese coach in his dark suit, is watching on, wily figure that he is. Just a steady hand really to see Portugal through 2 years ago to that great tournament victory at Euro 2016, which of course was the first time that Portugal have won a major international tournament title, and Portugal in possession going back into their own half. Chris Waddle.
Both teams basically playing a 4-5-1 and flooding the midfield, but Portugal have started to brighter. They're hungry after the ball.
Cristiano Ronaldo, first time into the penalty area with a run, an attempted run.
Give it.
Past Nacho, who caught him, and it's given us a penalty. Portugal have a penalty. Spain are protesting. Ronaldo took the ball into the box after a little shimmy and a step over.
No, it's not.
And Nacho came across with the challenge, and as he did so on his Real Madrid teammate, well, there was contact with his lower left leg, but down went Ronaldo. But I think
that's for the telly.
Well, let's see if VAR is going to be consulted. It is. We are being told on our screen here that the foul is being checked. The check is over now, and that has been confirmed. They are sticking with referee Gianluca Rocchi's decision. It is given as a penalty. There was contact.
Slight. I thought he lifted his leg into Nacho, so I think he's been harsh. I think the referee's bought it. I cannot believe that when he reviewed it, they said it. And he's never scored against Spain, so here we go.
3 goals in his previous 3 World Cups. And Cristiano Ronaldo here at World Cup 2018 has a chance to make a very early mark in the 4th minute against Spain. Ronaldo up to the ball, strikes it and sends David De Gea the wrong way, and off he goes. And what a celebration from Cristiano Ronaldo, leaping high, screaming with delight, landing next to the corner flag and seeing his teammates join him there as Portugal take an early lead against Spain by 1-0 through Cristiano Ronaldo's controversial penalty.
Yes, definitely for me. It's a great pen though. Sends the keeper De Gea the wrong way, puts it to De Gea's left, he dives right. It's a wonderful pen. And the celebration, I know he celebrates a bit, but he's really celebrated on his goal, hasn't he? And what a start for Portugal. Spain fast asleep, never got up the traps. They're 1 down now, they're chasing the game already.
Portugal, the players still are not back into their own half. Spain are ready to go here, but that goal, that sets it up beautifully, doesn't it, Chris?
Well, it's Nacho plays against him. I think he's had words with Ronaldo as he walked past him just now. Yes, I think he's not happy about it. If you watch it, he's clever what he does, Ronaldo. A little step out, goes to the left of Nacho. But Nacho goes to challenge and he does it, and Ronaldo lifts his leg into Nacho's, and then the ultimate takes him over, and the referee bought it.
And just to confirm, VAR did play a part there. They went to the video assistant referee, the officials, Massimiliano Irati, another Italian, like the referee, is the man who is the video assistant referee, and very quickly they went with the referee's decision. And this is what Pierluigi Collina said when I was at the briefing earlier this week in Moscow, in the Luzhniki. He said the referee will always make the final decision here, and in the end, with that one, they have decided to go when it's a grey area. They've gone with the decision that was made on the field.
You've got to respect it. If that's what they think, and you've got to respect that. So it's up to Spain now, but it's so slow the way they've started. Spain giving the ball away very easily when they're not under pressure, which is not like them.
Well, remember when they won the World Cup 4 years ago, Spain lost their first match by 1-0 when they were all over Switzerland, weren't they? If you remember that one in Durban, they had so many chances, couldn't put it in the net, lost 1-0, but went on to win the World Cup. But then at Euro 2016, when they were the defending champions there, they lost 2-0 in the quarter-finals to Italy. That's how they went out of the tournament. And here they are now in the opening match, 1-0 down against Cristiano Ronaldo and their neighbours from Portugal. And it is Spain now with Andres Iniesta. That is a shock, no question about it, for Spain.
It's ideal for Portugal now, isn't it? We thought their game plan would sit deep, give them credit, come out the blocks quick. They had so much time on the ball, but now they've dropped right off and they're going to protect this lead.
Sergio Ramos pings a pass cross field, but there's no way Nacho is going to reach that, and it bounces probably 8 or 9 yards ahead of him and out of play for a throw-in to Portugal. Yeah, when Nacho went in on that for that challenge on Cristiano Ronaldo, he went in, he knew Ronaldo was going to take him on, and just stuck a leg out. But as he did so, as he felt the contact, actually, it was as he felt the contact from Ronaldo, Nacho pulled himself back, threw his arms up, as if to pull out, but it was too late.
Well, I think Ronaldo played it well, and it's an art, I suppose, but people don't like it. But if you watch it, he lifts his leg into Nacho, and he got it. Listen, at the end of the day, he went for it and he got it. So it's 1-0 Portugal, and it's up to Spain now to up the tempo and make a game of it, because they've been sloppy so far.
They have the score. Portugal 1, Spain 0. This is BBC Radio 5 live from the World Cup, live from Sochi, inside the stadium. And every time there is a World Cup match being played at this tournament, you can listen to the BBC radio commentary, whether it's on 5 Live, whether it's on Sports Extra, whether it's on the BBC Sport website. Every morning you can download the 5 Live World Cup daily podcast. It'll become available first thing, so when you wake up in the morning, and actually on tomorrow's podcast, Mark Chapman's going to be talking to Paul Pogba, amongst many other things. So subscribe to it in your podcast app, or you can find it on the World Cup page of the BBC Sport website. Spain in possession now inside the centre circle. The ball is rolled across here towards Gerard Piqué, who plays it to Nacho, the number 4 in this Spanish squad. Iniesta with a touch, but then the challenge comes in on Koke, and it's a good one, and Spain have to start again from inside their own half. In the first 10 minutes, Cristiano Ronaldo has just scored his 82nd goal for Portugal in what is his 151st appearance from the penalty spot. Brilliant penalty it was. David De Gea on the line, dived to his right, the ball went to his left, and Spain have a job to do. Portugal just setting off them, Chris, as you would expect.
Yeah, just what we expected, and it's up to Spain. They're going through. They flooded the midfield, by the way, Portugal. It's really hard to get the ball in there. They're going to have to go down the flanks a little bit more.
Here they go, though. Spain on the left-hand side. The ball is clipped across towards Diego Costa. It bounces down, and David Silva with the chance. 12 yards out, swivelled, but hit it over the crossbar.
That's a lot better by Spain, isn't it? They got worked it well down the left. Ball comes in from Isco, I think, wasn't it? And touched by Costa, and Silva hits it over the bar, but at least they've livened up. There's terrible start.
Just a little slip from Silva.
Yeah, there was. Just give way.
As he was planting his left foot to hit it with his right, it just slipped away from under him. And actually, as we look down on the pitch from up here, there are just 1 or 2 spots. I mean, it is an extremely warm part of Russia here in the summer months, at least. In fact, when we when we stepped out of the airport, such was the wave of heat that met us through the sliding doors. You immediately think, how on earth did they host the Winter Olympics here? But they did. Spain with it, and with Isco, who's over towards the left-hand side for Spain in these early moments. It's drilled through the middle by Piqué, but that was beyond David Silva, and it runs away through to goalkeeper Rui Patricio in the goal down to our right. Portugal 1, Spain 0. These are odd surroundings, aren't there? This sporting complex, this sporting resort, where there are so many wide open spaces. And, I mean, other than holiday-making Russian families, we've barely seen anyone for the last 2 days.
Nobody really, let's be honest. I mean, it's unbelievable, the crowd, what we can get is what we're seeing tonight in the stadium, because I don't know where they've come from.
Yeah, but they've flocked in wherever they've come from. And there will be probably 45,000 inside the stadium here. Portugal 1, Spain 0. Ball played over the top, down the left-hand side for Spain. Cedric Suarez putting in the challenge on Jordi Alba, who collapsed to the ground, and referee Rocky says play on. Goal kick.
Well, I thought he was going to give it at first, but maybe Jordi Alba went to the ground a little bit too easy, and the referee's not having it.
Rui Patricio, the Sporting goalkeeper from Lisbon. And when you talk about the disruption that Spain have had, and of course that's undeniable, and here they are, 1-0 down after everything that's happened this week inside the first 5 minutes of this match. But Portugal have had their off-field troubles as well. The Sporting Lisbon players have been involved in this controversial situation where the fans invaded the training ground, and several of them, including Rui Patricio, have actually said, right, that's it, I want to leave the club during the course of this summer. But obviously Portugal were saying, well, that hasn't disrupted us either.
Nice time to say it just before the World Cup.
Yes, not bad. Here Sergio Ramos running the ball out and giving it to Iniesta, and now it's slipped forward down the left-hand side. Diego Costa was after it, but he allows it to run to Jordi Alba. Now Isco on the edge of the penalty area for Spain, into the penalty area, but runs across into the full-back position, and then the challenge comes in on him from Pepe to deflect it out for a first corner of the match.
You got to say, John, last 5 minutes have come to life, Spain. They're moving the ball quicker, there's a lot tempo about them. Here they go again.
They've taken a quick free kick. David Silva to Iniesta inside the penalty area, and a crucial interception. So important that Portugal were able to track the run there, and alive to the fact that Spain were taking that quick free kick, and it was actually João Moutinho who was back in there, who was able to put in the correction. It was Bruno Fernandes actually who did well to spot it, and he took the ball away and cleared it away by Portugal towards the halfway line. So 1-0 Portugal lead, and the ball at the back with Portugal, who switch it out towards Cristiano Ronaldo, who drifted infield. He's got the ball now, and the crowd warmed to this. So many Russian fans inside the stadium who probably have never seen Cristiano Ronaldo play live before, many of them. And here is Ronaldo with the captain's armband on, playing it back into his own half.
This shouldn't be a big deal for Spain. You know, most players, a lot of them play for Barcelona, Real Madrid, and they come up against teams every week who defend in numbers, and they break them down most weeks. All right, they haven't got a Lionel Messi or a Cristiano Ronaldo on the side.
Almost a quarter of an hour played. That's Chris Waddle with us on BBC Radio 5 Live. If you're on the way home on this Friday night, by the way, this game is on BBC One. Steve Wilson and Danny Murphy are just sitting just a few feet to our right for the commentary on the television. But you can listen to us as well. Any BBC television live match, you can press your red button and continue listening to the 5 Live radio commentary if you wish. Here's the ball on the left-hand side with Jordi Alba, but he's overhit the cross, and Rui Patricio will come and make a comfortable, unchallenged catch at the back post. 1-0 Portugal.
Well, Costa actually dropped out the box edge, linked the play up, give it Alba, and he crosses it. There's no way Costa can get in there, so easy cross.
Ronaldo, under pressure from 2 Spaniards, plays the ball centrally towards Guedes. Now on the right-hand side with Cedric, comes back to João Moutinho in midfield, who plays it back into central defence. And José Font, the evergreen José Font, who is now playing his football in China after his move during the course of this season. And eventually Portugal go all the way back to Rui Patricio, the goalkeeper, who clears it. Left-footed, a little bit of a slice on that. Headed forward by Guerreiro, Portugal. keep possession. Guedes plays it towards the centre spot, and Bernardo Silva puts in the challenge, but he's beaten to the ball, and Spain have got it back again. Sergio Ramos. There's a little bit of irony, I feel, in the way that Sergio Ramos's team have gone down 1-0 in this match after the events of the Champions League final, when Sergio Ramos, of course, was accused of using the dark arts to the very limits, but of course his Real Madrid teammate Cristiano Ronaldo knows all about them as well, and has used them to good effect here when he won the penalty. There'll be great discussion about this. Look forward to hearing what Pat Nevin has got to say about it at half-time. Spain, though, in possession, halfway inside the Portuguese half. Iniesta puts his foot on the ball and just plays it towards the left-hand side, where Jordi Alba will allow it to run to Isco, and now Isco, good work from him, chips it across. That's gone all the way across the penalty area, driven back into the box by Nacho, but intercepted and cleared away, and that's an excellent touch from Cristiano Ronaldo. And Gonzalo Guedes is now taking it on and running through the middle at Sergio Ramos. He's still 25 yards out, and he shoots straight into Sergio Ramos, who cleverly there stood off him.
He summed it up, and you've got to say, Ronaldo, great flick. And then as he turns, he runs, and he's looking for the return on Ronaldo, but he was never going to get back from Guedes. And the shot, Ramos just did it well, just jockeyed him, baited his time, got the block.
Yeah, that was clever, wasn't it? Sergio Ramos, he knows that everyone else knows of his reputation, and he just let him know that he was there, didn't he? Just stood off him. And young Gonzalo Guedes, who is 21 years old, as I mentioned, he's been on loan at Valencia this season, but he's on loan from Paris Saint-Germain, and he had a good season with Valencia. Well, it just came to nothing. Oh, and now he's been caught, Gonzalo Guedes.
Yellow.
Busquets putting in the challenge. The ball was there to go for, but he caught the man. He got a lot on the man, and Busquets, is wagging the finger and suggesting that never was that a yellow card. It just got away from him. And Chris,
the rules are the rules. Unfortunately, he's late, and whether the guy made a meal of it or not, it's a yellow card, and that's what the referees have been taught to do, even though some don't.
Portugal 1, Spain 0, with 17 minutes played, and it's a free kick to Portugal. Bernardo Silva is there, much shorter figure than Cristiano Ronaldo. Bernardo Silva runs his fingers through his hair, but you can tell that there's only one thing in Cristiano Ronaldo's mind here. Even though the angle is very acute near the right corner of the box, Ronaldo, big strides, has paced it out. Cristiano Ronaldo now on the World Cup stage stands, his white boots far apart, has a look at the wall, has a look at the goal. Ronaldo hits it into the top of the wall, and it strikes.
Free kick on the end of the wall. Was there a bit of pulling
in the wall?
Yeah. Ronaldo hit somebody straight on the face, on the head.
Busquets.
Yeah, straight down.
Took it right on I presume on the forehead. Knocked him backwards onto his back, but was able to jump straight up.
Actually, I think it hit him in the chest, though. Plus, he's got his arms crossed across his chest
as well. But the whistle had gone. Free kick, and it comes to absolutely nothing. So Portugal 1, Spain 0. Both of today's World Cup matches, if you've been out and about on this summer Friday, as I'm sure it is back home, finished as 1-0 wins. Uruguay 1-0 winners against Egypt with a late goal and a very late own goal in our second commentary match, which came live from St. Petersburg, which resulted in Iran winning 1-0 against Morocco. And we saw the pictures, didn't we, Chris? Some of the Iranian celebrations were incredible. But Spain coming forward. Portugal wildly celebrated their opening goal of World Cup 2018. And Fernando Hierro, who was until 2 days ago the sporting director, now in charge with his hands on his hips, watching his Spain team trying to do something about this, but the ball flew to Diego Costa, runs away through for a goal kick.
I think Portugal is delighted the way Spain are playing so far. It's quite slow, playing in front of them, and when they're trying to change the gears, they're losing the ball very, very cheaply. And you've got to say, it's not like Spain. They're normally the masters of one-touch football and the movement. So far, we've not seen it.
Chris, how much disruption will there have been, Chris? I mean, we've talked about the experienced players in the Spanish squad, but he's had to bring in some new coaches. It's a new man, at the helm.
I think Spain play the same way, John. It's not like you say to the players, right, we're not going to play this passing game what we do and slow it down and move it through the gears and go quick. And I think, they're not going direct onto Costa and whatever. They play the same way. So I can't see how it's affected them.
The word seems to be that Albert Celebes, the under-21 coach, was also a candidate to perhaps take over. But I think when you've got Fernando Hierro in these circumstances, and here they come now with Silva playing it through to Diego Costa for Spain on the edge of the penalty area, but Portugal very quickly back in position. Pepe did well there. Isco looking to cross from the left-hand side, but it's blocked, and then the ball is deflected out of play for a Spanish throw 10 yards back from the corner flag on the far side. I think when you've got Fernando Hierro as your sporting director, one of the most respected players in the game over the course of the last 20 or 30 years, I think it's an obvious choice. Played it, always part of 4 World Cup squads. Here's Iniesta away down the left-hand side into the penalty area, pulls it back, gives it to David Silva, whose shot from the angle is deflected wide. There were 3 defenders in position in front of David Silva when he finally hit the shot, and it was deflected wide and behind for a corner.
That's where they're getting the joy, down that left-hand side. Iniesta joins in this team with Alba and Isco. Down that left-hand side is where they're getting a lot of joy.
With Cedric Suarez, the Southampton right back. Here is the latest Spanish corner. It's a deep one aiming for Piqué, but it was headed away by José Font. And Portugal, lovely touch from Bernardo Silva. And Guedes plays it across to Cristiano Ronaldo, who squares it into the middle. And then the chance from Bruno Fernandes, who did nothing with it inside the penalty area. What a break from Portugal, and it ended in absolutely nothing, and a poor touch from Bruno Fernandes.
Well, he should have pulled the trigger, shouldn't he? Great layoff by Ronaldo. We all thought he was going to stop it. And watching Nacho running back, he doesn't look bothered. He's jogging back. Ronaldo, great flick, first time outside the foot, and just hit it. Just as you're running onto it, just don't think about it. You're inside the box, just hit it, hit the target.
It's laid on a plate by Cristiano Ronaldo for young Bruno Fernandes, who's another of those sporting players from Lisbon and has been chosen. There were, a number of question marks over who would play if Portugal played this system, and he's been given the nod. And there, I'm afraid his touch rather let him down. But it was a warning to Spain of what Portugal...
Counter-attack. That's what they're good at. The willing runners, they've got, as you said, they've put the team with a lot of pace from midfield. And they will keep catching Spain out, especially from the set pieces when they're high up the field.
Portugal 1, Spain 0. Live on BBC Radio 5 Live from Russia 2018. And Portugal in possession inside their own half, playing it up to Cristiano Ronaldo. And then Bruno Fernandes, I think he might have been caught there, but he managed to flick it here to the left-hand side to Guerrero, whose cross is blocked and deflected away back into Spanish possession. And Busquets hits a long high ball downfield for Diego Costa, and Pepe has gone down. He was caught by Diego Costa, and Diego Costa hands off Font, and Diego Costa turns and shoots. What a goal! Pepe is claiming that he was fouled by Diego Costa in the build-up to that. Well, this could go to VAR. Spain are celebrating. What a brilliant individual goal by Diego Costa. But did he use his hand to foul Pepe? He threw up an arm. I think he did catch him in the face. VAR is being used. They are checking for a potential foul.
Well, I'll be surprised if they give this. I think they'll give it. They should give it.
The check is over. This is the information that is being given to us here, and it is confirmed as a goal. And we're just seeing now the replay of Diego Costa's challenge, and he caught Pepe as the two of them challenged for the ball. He did catch him with his arm.
I think he was looking at the ball. I didn't think he had any intent to catch Pepe, but after that, I've got to say, it's the first time I've seen Spain play a long ball to the strengths of Diego Costa.
But that's what they've been doing. They have been mixing it up, haven't they, under Julen Lopetegui? That was the word.
Well, that was the first time they've done it in this game in, what was that, 24 minutes? And it just shows what he does. If you go a little bit earlier to him, a bit direct, he can do what he's just done. It was a wonderful goal. Whether people will say it was a free kick or not, after he carried on playing, He went one way, he sent Font the other way, and it was a wonderful finish across the keeper in the bottom corner. You can't fault that. But that was the first time I've seen Spain go at least 40 yards on a pass, 50 yards.
Cracking pass from Busquets as well.
Yes. Great ball.
Well, that was 50 yards, wasn't it?
Great ball.
But Costa, as we say, had it all to do.
That's his strength. So what you see there is when he scores a lot of goals like that. And it's the first time I've said in the game they've played a ball where he's actually thought, yeah, I've got a chance of getting after this.
Get after it, he did. So it's Portugal 1, Spain 1. And Spain now buoyed by that. Oh, lovely looking ball from Iniesta. It was blocked. Oh, and it's driven in. No! It's driven in by Isco. No! Surely that was over the line. It hit the crossbar and bounced down. Now the assistant has flagged.
What, is it offside for the rebound? But we want to see the rebound. They want to see the ball hit the bar. Did that cross the line?
Well, Spain are saying, Isco is saying surely that crossed the line. And
no, it didn't.
It didn't cross the line. It landed on the line, and then the offside player, who was on the edge of the 6-yard box,
strike,
was flagged offside.
What a strike, John! That was just quality. That the tails are up now. Spain, they've got a goal. They've upped the tempo. They're asking questions.
And now this Portuguese defence is really being tested. And that was one of the questions before the game, these 30-something Portuguese central defenders. And we spoke so much, didn't we, about Pepe. And, I mean, he's another one, isn't he, who knows all the tricks. Exactly. But he was bested by Diego Costa.
He didn't get his Oscar nomination for that one, did he? So, it got to say Costa just had his eyes on the ball. And I think that worked in his favour. If you watch the replay, he doesn't look at Pepe, he watches the ball.
But he beat Pepe physically, and he beat Jose Font. All ends up. I mean, he twisted him left, right and centre.
Very easy.
And then he scored. And it's 1-1. Oh, now the ball is pulled across for Spain, and a trip on Nacho.
Give it.
And he has given the free kick.
No, I don't think
Bruno Fernandes in with the challenge on the arriving Nacho. And he's yellow carded for that as well, Bruno Fernandes.
I thought he played the ball, didn't he? Did he not? I've got it wrong. That's a 50-50. That's not a yellow card.
Nacho ran into Bruno Fernandes, actually.
That's not even a foul.
But this is Nacho, who conceded the penalty early on in the match. Now wins the free kick with a similar-ish sort of incident.
Spain, this is what we expected from Spain. This is what I pictured Spain in the tournament. I didn't see that first 15 minutes. They were absolutely woeful, weren't they? So this is what Spain's about.
Well, we've got Koke and David Silva, who are over the free kick. It's right of centre. It's round about halfway between the D and the corner of the penalty area. Best part of, it'll be 23, 24 yards out.
Great handle.
Koke, I think Koke likes it with his right foot.
I'd go where the keeper's standing, John. Now David Silva, hit it, fizz it hard as you can, inside the foot, inside that far post, don't go over the wall.
Yeah, Rui Patricio was standing on his left post at the time, which is the side from which the free kick's been taken.
Waiting for them two white shirts on the end of the wall.
It's 1-1, Portugal 1, Spain 1, 5 live. This is turning into a bit of a thriller here in Sochi. We're waiting for the free kick. Great World Cup theatre. Koke waits. Silva up, left-footed shot into the wall. He was going for that corner, but he hit it into the wall. 3/4 of the way up, actually. Portugal clear. And now Koke puts his foot on the ball. Koke's cross towards the penalty spot. That is headed down and away, and Portugal could be off on the counter-attack here. A slip, though, crucially, by Gonçalo Guedes. And Portugal have to go back into their own half. I'm thinking now as well, Chris, about the chance that Bruno Fernandes had when Portugal were 1-0 up. And he fluffed it, really. And then the next thing that happens is that Spain equalise. Cristiano Ronaldo. Little shimmy from him. Portugal, who've been pegged back by Diego Costa's first goal at a World Cup in his third match. And he'll feel a great deal better for that. And that's probably the goal of the tournament so far.
Yes, well, it's not hard, is it? You can't class an own goal for Morocco. What was the other goal after that?
Well, Russia's 5 goals yesterday.
The one with the outside the foot was a great goal. That'll run it as a test.
And on the big screens in the stadium here, they're just showing the goal line technology at the moment, when Isco's shot landed on the line, and Jordi Alba it was who was the man in the offside position. So it's 1-1, Portugal 1, Spain 1, on what is a sweltering night here. Mind you, we're off to Volgograd tomorrow, and what were you telling me the temperature was in Volgograd?
30.
It's 30.
Yep.
That's where England play on Monday. You'll hear that match live from Volgograd. I hope it's cooled down a bit by the time we get to 7 o'clock on Monday evening. That is kick-off time. If you haven't set that up in your diary or your mobile phone or however you do these things, England's first group match against Tunisia, 7 o'clock on Monday night. But obviously every match at the World Cup you will hear commentary on BBC Radio, whether it be on 5 Live, Sports Extra, on the website. And tomorrow's a bit of a super Saturday with 4 World Cup matches. There's the second rugby union test between South Africa and England. That will be live on 5 Live at 4:05 tomorrow afternoon, live from Bloemfontein. England playing Australia tomorrow in the second one there as well. And obviously the US Open will be updating you on that, on what looks like a devilishly difficult course, or indeed the rough at Shinnecock Hills. More from Ian Carter and the team at half-time, I'm sure, from there. But Portugal 1, Spain 1 here in Sochi. And Spain in possession with Iniesta, who plays it back to Sergio Ramos. Just flicks a pass with the outside of his boot to his fellow central defender, the Barcelona man. Real Madrid-Barcelona pair in central defence. Tonight, Gerard Piqué, incidentally, is winning his 99th cap. So, all being well, Piqué will win his 100th against Iran in Kazan when they play their next game. There's a little foul in centre field by Pepe. He just checked Busquets, and it's a free kick to Spain, and Pepe races back into position. Here's Iniesta, and then to Busquets, who hits a pass towards the right hand side towards Nacho, and now David Silva twisting and turning. David Silva, he's winning his 122nd cap tonight. Now Iniesta wants it. Iniesta's winning his 128th. And Iniesta plays it out towards Isco on the left-hand side, the bearded Isco. He looked out of sorts, really, didn't he, with Real Madrid in the latter part of the season?
Yeah, he's not he's had a great shot which hit the crossbar, but he's not really been involved in the game.
Bernardo Silva wanted to take a quick throw there, and he hasn't been allowed to do it. And in fact, the throw's been given the other way. Or has that been given as a foul throw?
Foul throw?
Did he step on the field?
Maybe. Which they all do.
So he's a little unfortunate to be picked up on that. Well, we've had a little bit of everything, haven't we, in the first half hour?
Yes, very entertaining. It's Portugal first 10-15 minutes, and then Spain took over, and Spain at the minute in control. But Ronaldo, whether you say it's a pen or not, there'll be a big debate on that, I'm sure. But you can't fault Diego Costa's goal. What a goal that was.
Yeah, brilliant goal from Busquets' long pass. But when Diego Costa received it, 30-35 yards out, and he had to take on Pepe and beat Font, and he did just that, and scored well actually from 12-13 yards, picked out the bottom corner with his shot to beat Rui Patricio. Now Spain coming again with the ball on the right hand side. Nacho is in fact Nacho allows it to run. Koke tries to latch onto it in the full-back position, but Portugal are able to clear, but they've only partially cleared their lines. So Gerard Piqué now pulls the ball in field. Sergio Ramos helps it on to Iniesta. Now Iniesta drops his shoulder, and he takes on João Moutinho, who is just able to get a little foot on that, and Portugal will take it away towards the halfway line, but Iniesta with a delightful flick beats Bernardo Silva, who loves a flick himself.
Yeah, Iniesta, what a class player, all these years, and it's not about one season or 2 seasons, he's done it how many, and that's the sign of a great player.
Yeah, Iniesta, who he's been at Barcelona his whole career until his tearful departure at the end of the season. Here they come again, ball near the edge of the penalty area, touch from Iniesta, now it's pulled across by Alba, and then the shot from Iniesta is right across the face of goal. And he was just inches away, Iniesta, from giving Spain the lead.
You've got to, Spain, that sometimes they frustrate. We know that they play slow, pass, don't go in, and people get frustrated a little bit with them. I think they're great how they play, but when they go through the gears, all of a sudden they just go up the gears from first, second, third, so quick. Teams just can't live with it. And there, I think it was a slight deflection actually off Coca anyway, wasn't it? But off Iniesta's shot, but great move.
Just over 10 minutes to go to half-time, and it has turned into quite an entertaining affair for us.
Well, we thought it had the makings of one, John, with the quality on the pitch, and definitely the last 20 minutes has really livened up, and we're seeing a lot of quality play.
Portugal 1, Spain 1. And Spain, who it feels have dominated possession. Actually, it probably says on this
65%.
Oh, well done. It does say. Where does it say that? Down in the corner, yeah. 65% for Spain, and here they come again with Iniesta now plays the ball towards the edge of the penalty area. A twist and a turn from Isco as well, but he was well challenged by Moutinho. Now William Carvalho is able to get a touch on the ball halfway inside his own half, and it's cleared by Cedric Suarez downfield, but Spain will just assume possession again.
Where we had Portugal looking after the ball, Spain have upped the tempo. They're not giving the time they had in that field. There's a direct ball for Costa again,
but it will bounce on through to Rui
from
Patricio.
His teammate Koke, who obviously knows how he plays, knows his strengths. Now watch Koke, every time he gets it wide, he puts the ball in the box. When he gets it deep, he does look at Costa's running.
Yeah. Busquets, for the main part, is playing as the one man in the middle, with Iniesta forward to his left and Koke forward to his right. That is how they're playing it. And Isco mainly on the left-hand side and David Silva on the right, with goal scorer Diego Costa through the middle. I think Pat, here's Guerrero with the cross for Portugal, but a backpedaling David De Gea knew that was floating away beyond his back post and through for a goal kick. I think Pat Nevin will be sounding a little smug at half-time when he stood up for Diego Costa.
And to be fair, when I counted, it took him about 15-20 minutes to have 3 touches. One of them was a kick-off. And then all of a sudden Spain up the tempo. He scored a goal, he's been involved a lot more, but Spain have started playing a little bit which suits him.
They have. And Fernando Hierro, who hasn't got his jacket on. I can't believe that Fernando Santos is wearing a jacket in these conditions. He must be absolutely sweltered. Fernando Hierro, crisp, white shirt, 50 years old he is, and he's urging Spain on, and they give the ball down the right-hand side to Nacho. Plenty of talking points from this first half. Nacho's challenge on Ronaldo, that was given as an early penalty. We've had a couple of VAR interventions, and now here Jordi Alba with the ball on the left-hand side. Iniesta rolls it back to Sergio Ramos, and the two of them exchange passes. Then Diego Costa plays it out to Jordi Alba. Great pass from Iniesta. Alba racing onto it, and Portugal, they could take no chances there. And the two central defenders, Jose Font and Pepe, actually touch hands together there, and Font deflected it behind for a corner.
You know, when the ball goes in Iniesta, if you just run, you've got a very good chance of him playing you in first time, outside the foot, inside the foot, whichever way. And that's when you see the ball going. Jordi Alba must think, I'm going to run here, because he's capable of finding us.
David Silva to take this corner from the left-hand side. The score 1-1. Half-time not too far away. Very enjoyable first half. The referee is happy now, and here's the corner from David Silva towards the near post, which is headed up and wide by Busquets, who was in there, just got it all wrong really, and headed it 3 or 4 yards wide.
Well, Pepe is having a word with the referee about holding, saying I'm not.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Can you believe that?
Pepe?
Yeah, saying he wasn't holding.
Talk about butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. Yeah, and the referee actually held up his whistle.
Well, he just said, yeah, I know that. You never do anything like that.
I think it was a. Do you know what? I'll referee, and you just look after what you're doing. Right. Here is Portugal with little Bernardo Silva. Then back to William Carvalho. Bruno Fernandes on the left-hand side. and William Carvalho chips it into the centre circle. By the way, that was a brilliant little cameo, wasn't it, where Iniesta beat Bernardo Silva, who's shown us this season, Bernardo Silva in the Premier League, the full array of his talent and his tricks. He loves it. He loves nothing more than a little trick against an opponent.
You don't mind though, if it's Iniesta, you don't mind.
But when Iniesta did it there, Bernardo Silva sort of stopped in his tracks, and you could see his body language almost like, yeah, you've done me that.
Yeah, but you don't mind, it's Iniesta.
Yeah.
How many people you can say that about? He's done how many?
Thousands of them, as Michael Caine once said. Portugal 1, Spain 1, and a throw-in to Spain with half-time round about 5 minutes away. Really looking forward to what Pat's got to say at half-time about the Cristiano Ronaldo penalty, about Diego Costa. Pat Nevin, who's very much part of our team, he's back in Moscow with Mark Chapman, and we are down here in the sweltering south. We are just a few hundred yards away from the very stony Black Sea beach front. Spain with Diego Costa back towards Busquets, who's twisting and turning, and then it finds its way to Nacho, Koke with a touch, and Spain go back into their own half. I think they'll be satisfied, Spain, with the way that they've recovered their position in this opening group match in Group B, and then a foul from behind by Pepe on Diego Costa, who has gone down 5 or 6 yards ahead of the centre circle. There's the full reaction there from Costa, and Pepe is just leaning over him.
Sorry, look.
You okay, mate?
Yeah.
You alright?
Oh, down the back of the Achilles, that's a yellow. We've just got a benefit of a reap. That's shocking challenge, that.
Pepe.
Shocking. I'll keep an eye on that now, because I don't think Diego Costa will just say I'll accept that.
And remember, VAR cannot be used for yellow cards. It's just what they call the game-changing situations. So the video assistants will have seen that, but that's a decision that they can't change. Portugal 1, Spain 1. Back it goes with Spain on the halfway line. David Silva with his heels on the white lines. He plays it infield. I think he was fouled, but play continues, and Isco hits a shot from the edge of the area that Rui Patricio is able to go down and gather into his chest.
Yeah, good movement. Isco has started wandering, Iniesta sort of gone to the left. Isco has come inside and playing more or less just behind Diego Costa now, and Iniesta's gone to that left-hand side.
Oh, careless from Portugal. Spain are all over them here, passing the ball out from the back from the goal kick, but Silva's won it back now. Busquets plays it into the space on the left-hand side. That's where Spain love it. That's where Iniesta loves it. Jordi Alba's joined in. A deep cross across the penalty area, an uncertain defending, a clearance there, a sort of kung fu kick style clearance on the edge of the 6-yard box to send it behind for a corner.
Why is nobody attacking that? It's a wonderful crossing, and defenders all over the place, and it's a corner now to Spain.
Left back Rafael Guerrero it was clearing it in the end, but two central defenders. Here's the corner then for Spain. It's taken in, and Rui Patricio comes and is able to catch it 4 or 5 yards outside of his 6-yard box, and he gives it out quickly, and Cristiano Ronaldo, who's been out of the game for some time, is now carrying the ball forward and playing it towards the left-hand side, where it has run into the path of Guerrero, and now back more centrally towards Bruno Fernandes. William Carvalho. Spain now are quickly back into position. We're into the last 2 minutes of the first half. Added time as well. On top of that, Bernardo Silva has the ball on the right. He's got support from Cedric, who takes one touch, swings over the cross. Cristiano Ronaldo was after it, but he was beaten brilliantly in the air by Gerard Piqué. Superb challenge.
Yeah, great ball in. Ronaldo really good in years, and Piqué just got really close to him and headed it just as it just comes behind Ronaldo. He just gets there first and heads it.
Clever from Ronaldo, found the space between Sergio Ramos, and now Portugal come again. Ronaldo with a shot. Oh no, it's straight through David De Gea. It's gone through his legs and into the back of the net, and it's 2-1 to Portugal, and Cristiano Ronaldo has scored twice, and that's a horror moment for David De Gea, the Manchester United goalkeeper, here on the World Cup stage. 2-1 Portugal.
Well, I thought there was a little question about being offside. Ronaldo, he's walking back because he didn't cross it, and he gets flicked on, and I don't know, it must have come off a defender. The ball comes forward, he's offside, Ronaldo, and it comes off a defender, and Oh, David De Gea, you couldn't say he would ever do something like that, would you? He's that good.
Well, I can't remember seeing him make a mistake like that. Ronaldo hit it, and it was between his legs. He got his hands to it, but it slipped off his hands, just took a deflection off his two hands and slipped past his right leg and into the bottom corner.
I just cannot believe what you see.
VAR are checking for potential offside leading up to the goal.
I don't think he was, though. I think the defender played the ball.
And we're just waiting. The check is over. We are informed. Just waiting for the big screen here to tell the crowd. We're still waiting. I mean, the players are lined up, ready to start. And the referee says, yeah, he's been told that it is confirmed. It confirms it that Cristiano Ronaldo has scored his second goal at this World Cup. We have 1 minute at a time at the end of this first half. But what about that, Chris Waddle?
Well, you feel for De Gea. He very rarely ever makes a mistake. He's a top-class keeper, but very surprising. But, you know, Ronaldo's not frightened of shooting. If you don't shoot, you don't score.
Shot from the edge of the penalty area that evaded the grasp of David De Gea. It was more or less straight at him, just down into his right, a low shot, got his hands to it, but just fumbled it, a crucial little fumble, and the ball was in the net in the twinkling of an eye. And after all of Spain's hard work to get back into this game and actually come so close to taking the lead themselves, they now find themselves behind again with half-time not far away. But they've got a corner swung into the near post, and Ronaldo is there to head it across the penalty area, and there's the half-time whistle. What a half! 2-1 Portugal.
Very enjoyable. I think Portugal, even credit, started very well, quick out the blocks, got their goal. Pen dubious for me, people might say different, but then Spain took over control of the game after about 15 minutes and looked like Spain, what we know Spain's all about. Wonderful goal by Costa, fabulous goal. But then De Gea makes a mistake, and now I've looked threatening on the counter-attack, Portugal, you got to say, but Spain will be very disappointed going in at the 2-1 down.
Cristiano Ronaldo's taken centre stage after 3 goals in his previous 13 World Cup finals tournament appearances. He's got 2 in one half here in Sochi, and Portugal leads Spain by 2-1. Well,
lovely.
That's quite mild. I'm pleased you went down that line. Right, we're ready for the start of the second half here in Sochi. The score: Portugal leading Spain by 2-1. No substitutions at half-time, so Portugal with Rui Patricio in goal. Back four is Cedric Soares, Pepe, Jose Font and Rafael Guerreiro as Portugal get the second half underway. Bernardo Silva, William Carvalho, João Moutinho and Bruno Fernandes, with Gonçalo Guedes and Cristiano Ronaldo. And the Spanish team with De Gea in goal. Back four of Nacho, Piqué, Ramos and Alba. Then Busquets with Koke and Iniesta either side of him. Isco Mena on the left, David Silva on the right, and goal scorer Diego Costa through the middle. So Cristiano Ronaldo's on a hat-trick. Never done that before at the World Cup. And his goals either side of Diego Costa's excellent equaliser. But there's every chance of more incident and more talking points and more VAR in the second half, Chris Waddle, I would say.
Most definitely in this game. Two very good sides, and I bet you Spain players, never mind the Rareros, I think they've had a go at each other and said about the tempo, how sloppy they've been. I bet they've had words among themselves. I'm not saying arguing, but it'll be probably a heated discussion.
Yeah, and they know, Sergio Ramos said it yesterday, if they don't perform here, everyone is going to go on and on about what the effect was of sacking Julen Lopetegui 2 days before their opening group match. Well, the ball is halfway inside the Spanish half. They are in their all-white change kit, or all white apart from the red trim. The man wearing the captain's armband, the Champions League winning captain, multiple Champions League winning captain, Sergio Ramos, eventually plays it out towards the right-hand side. Isco's made his way out there and wins a throw-in. Portugal in their first choice kit, the deep red shirts and shorts with the gold numbers on the back and the Portuguese green socks. Here, the ball on the edge of the area with David Silva. Isco. Then it's helped on by Koke towards the right-hand side. Now back towards the edge of the penalty area. Shouts that Silva was in an offside position. He was. It's a free kick to Portugal. So Chris Waddle is here with us, who played at 2 World Cups with England. And, you've been at umpteen World Cups with BBC Radio as well over the years. Every World Cup since 86.
Yeah.
So Portugal with a Free kick for offside inside their own half. Still not everyone has returned to their seats at the half-time break. All sorts of attractions and concession stalls, obviously, in a World Cup stadium. So still we see quite a lot of mint-coloured empty seats around the stadium. But as I say, the attendance is pretty good here. Not like the pictures we saw from Yekaterinburg earlier, where there were so many empty seats. The ball bouncing out of play for a throw-in to Spain, 15 yards inside their own half.
The problem they've got with Spain is Isco's playing left, and he wants to be really involved more in the middle, doesn't he? In a sort of number 10 role. David Silva's a number 10, let's be honest. We see what he does for City all the time, and they've been sort of stifled on the flanks. So, not really wide, but right and left side. And they don't seem to get enough of the ball. They're not involved enough, and they can get very frustrated. So that's why maybe he'll have to make a change of putting Asensio on the left, because he's quite willing to play on that left-hand side. And Vasquez on the right-hand side, who's willing to stay wide at times.
Yeah, but as we said, as Guillem was saying as well at half-time, there are so many options, aren't there, in this talented Spanish squad that Fernando Hierro can use. Here's Iniesta, who was claiming that he was tripped there. Bernardo Silva sends the ball forward towards Cristiano Ronaldo. Guedes is making ground through the middle. Bruno Fernandes is there as well, but Cristiano Ronaldo uses Bernardo Silva, and that's a very good square ball to William Carvalho at pace, and now he plays it towards the left hand side where Guerrero's joined in the attack, and Guerrero's square passes straight into the path of Sergio Ramos, who's able to very calmly play it away. But Iniesta is caught in possession, and then Bernardo Silva Bruno Fernandes tries a shot from 25 yards plus that bounces wide of the post.
There's a few players falling over, isn't it? I know they watered the pitch quite heavy at half time, but it was a good move by Portugal, and getting the ball back high up the field, which helps them.
Portugal 2, Spain 1. This is the World Cup on 5 Live. We've got a 4-match Saturday for you tomorrow, the first one of those at this World Cup. The first couple of matches in groups C and D, as there's pulling on Sergio Busquets by Gonzalo Guedes, and it's a free kick that Spain takes short. And now Bernardo Silva through the middle. Diego Costa gets a touch. The ball bounces rather awkwardly for Cedric to head away, and he's helped out by Bernardo Silva. Ronaldo's beaten in the air. Cedric plays it infield, and the tall figure of William Carvalho has to prod it out towards the left-hand side, where Guerrero slices one straight out of play. Yeah, those matches tomorrow. UK times, 11 o'clock, the first start tomorrow for France-Australia. We'll bring you that with Conor McNamara and Dion Dublin live from inside the stadium. And then Argentina-Iceland, which is another of the most attractive games of this group stage at this World Cup. Iceland's debut in the competition. That'll be quite an occasion. And then Peru-Denmark at 5 o'clock, Croatia-Nigeria at 8 o'clock. And you'll hear those either on 5 Live, on Sports Extra, or via the BBC website, because the England-South Africa test match is on 5 Live at 5 minutes past 4. Spain just keeping possession while I'm speaking there in the central third of the field, and now they move into the Portuguese defensive third. The ball on the right side. David Silva turns onto his left foot. He's back onto his right, but he uses his left, and then the ball infield towards the edge of the penalty area. Sees a touch from Koke, and now Koke again is weaving infield with it, but is able to play it further towards the halfway line. Koke once again. Koke of Atletico Madrid now to Iniesta, who actually makes his way back into the centre circle, and Portugal are pressing. Spain here. Sergio Ramos has to take the option of Gerard Piqué, so Spain start again from the halfway line, and then David Silva. This is all on the right hand side. Nacho's involved. Isco, the little ball to the edge of the area. David Silva gets it back, tries an angle ball through to Diego Costa. It's half cleared away, and then further away, and it's allowed to bounce out of play on the far side for a throw-in. And Portugal still lead by 2-1, Chris Waddle.
Yeah, long spell of possession, not really going anywhere, trying to find that door open, and they're moving the ball around a bit quicker. They could do it a little bit more quick, I think, if they want to get a chance, but they're looking after the ball very well, Spain. They're great out of getting them little pockets, don't they, David Silva and Iniesta, and it's hard. Does the fullback go in here, does a midfield player come and mark him, and by the time you think they've got the ball.
Yeah, some would call it lovely tippy tapas football from Spain. Not me. And you'll find out why.
Because you don't like tapas.
No, I love tapas. but you'll find out why on Monday morning in Robbie Savage's World Cup breakfast from 8:30 if you're not following that one. Just been handed a piece of paper which says that Ronaldo is the first player to score in 8 major international tournaments. So the goals that he's scored tonight might only be his 4th and 5th in the World Cup, but that's very much a record to be proud of. And here comes Spain again. Portugal leading thanks to Ronaldo's 2 goals on the night, the first a penalty, Diego Costa for Spain, and Spain dominating possession in the early stages of the second half. The angled ball from Isco is cut out on the edge of the Portuguese box though, and it's played up towards Gonçalo Guedes, who's beaten in the air, and now Iniesta gets it back from Koke, and Iniesta is tripped unceremoniously by João Moutinho, and it's a free kick to Spain.
Well, if you want to take this Isco one, Ramos is coming up with the ball, he can strike it as well. Yeah, it's definite foul, seeing the replay on Iniesta.
And talk of Cristiano Ronaldo's influence on major tournaments. I mean, think of what Andrés Iniesta has achieved. The winning goal for Spain in the 2010 final. He was the man of the match in that final. Also the man of the match in the Euro 2012 final. A brilliant, brilliant player. And this might be the last opportunity this summer to see him on the biggest stage, because of course he's going off to play his club football in Japan. And he looks as though he's determined to make the most of it. Free kick to Spain. It is David Silva who taps it to Koke, and then David Silva plays it into the penalty area. It's headed across and it's prodded in. Diego Costa in the 6-yard box. It was headed back across, and he was there to snaffle it, and up he gets, and he looks so cool. He looks as though he was born to be here at this World Cup in Russia. He's scored twice. He's matched Ronaldo in this match, and Spain have matched Portugal and made it 2-2.
Well, it's Busquets who pulls around the back. A well-worked free kick. David Silva just taps it to Koke. Hits the ball to the far post. I've got to say, out-jumps everybody, doesn't he, Busquets? And give Costa credit. He followed in.
However, I should tell you that VAR are checking this. I suspect it's because of Busquets' challenge at the back post on Gonçalo Guedes. But the expectation would be that it's been given. It has been given. They've dealt with that very quickly, VAR. And the score is Portugal 2, Spain 2.
Well, what a game. Spain, a lot of possession, not really going anywhere. But again, they've just got that quality. That was a dead ball situation. David Silva just taps it, lays it back, gets it across to the far post. And you've got to say Portugal didn't do their jobs defensively.
No, people said it. It was said by Portugal's followers in the build-up to this World Cup that their weak point, Portugal's weak point, would be at the back, and they've certainly been caught out here.
It was him at the far post.
Guedes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a young boy at the far post against Busquets, who's about, 6'3"?
Yeah. So it's 2-2 again. Portugal have been in front twice. Spain have equalised twice. And now Portugal coming forward with the ball on the left-hand side, and appeals for Portugal for a foul on Guedes, the number 17, who was beaten by Sergio Busquets in the build-up to the second Spanish equaliser, but no free kick given by the Italian referee Gianluca Rocchi, and Spain begin to build from the back again. Many more Spanish supporters in the fished stadium here than Portuguese fans, and you can hear them. There are pockets of them actually. We're up on the dressing room side of the ground. Just been told the attendance is 43,866, and the capacity is 47 something. So but looking around, you know, it looks an almost full stadium, but you can see the bright red pockets of the Spanish supporters dotted around the lower tier and the top tier. As I speak, the red and blue and white lights are still glowing gently in the 2 roofs on either side of the ground, and the score's 2-2. And Spain are showing themselves to be in the mood here. And Iniesta angles a low ball to Diego Costa, who, like Ronaldo, is on a hat-trick in this match. Then a touch on the left-hand side. Isco takes it on, uses Jordi Alba behind him. And now, again, David Silva, Isco to Jordi Alba, tried to flick it back to him. Portugal are struggling here. David Silva's got involved. David Silva back to Isco inside the box. It's half cleared, it bounces free, and it's drilled in off the post. What a wonderful goal from Nacho, the right back, who struck it brilliantly from the angle, and it flew in off the upright. I thought for a moment it might be going to roll out across the goal line and hit the other post, but it's in, and it's 3-2 Spain.
Well, Spain's been the better team in the second half, haven't it? And what a strike this is. Talking about good goals tonight, this is the best one so far for me. Down a little bit of good fortune, and it rolls to David Silva. He overplays his pass. It comes off Willian as a clearance. Oh, what a strike that is. Goalkeeper absolutely no chance. Sets up volley, gets his leg across it, knee above the ball, hits the post. Goalkeeper absolutely no chance. You've got to say Spain have deserved it the way they've started the second half.
Spain lead for the first time in the match. An angled volley from Nacho that hit the post, about a foot off the base, and it spun across and into the far side netting. And now Portugal 2, Spain 3 is the score. We've still got over half an hour to play here, Chris.
Well, it's going to be interesting because Portugal haven't been behind, have they? So they've got to come out now and start asking some questions. Will that suit Spain?
And Cristiano Ronaldo taking it on and running at the running at the Spanish defence, and he's running at Nacho, and it's a free kick.
He's asked for a yellow card, hasn't he?
Yeah, Nacho, who incidentally has not yet been yellow carded. He was clipped and caught, and he's standing over the free kick on the far side. It's out towards the left flank. It'll either be Rafael or João Moutinho who's going to play it in from the left-hand side. Spain are holding a very high line here. And Guerrero plays it in towards the edge of the area where it's headed away. It bounces back for Portugal in the central area.
You know what it does me, John? You went to the referee briefing and they said they can't hold. Piqué just had a hold of Ronaldo, and where what? About 3 miles away, and he had a hold of him and threw him on the floor. And where's all this? Referee's having a word now with Piqué saying don't do it.
Yeah.
What do you mean don't do it? I thought they said they can't do it.
You know, the point I'm making is that if you see it in the penalty area, that was outside the box, wasn't it?
Well, it would have been close, to tell you, but it doesn't matter. He should blow.
So 3-2 Spain lead. And Fernando Hierro down there. Is that Fernando Hierro's name being sung there?
I sort of singing España.
Well, Hierro is reacting, and he's actually applauding to the crowd. Spain have been behind twice in this match. Fernando Hierro's Spain, but now lead by 3-2. But Cristiano Ronaldo, actually, difficult skill he was attempting there as the ball dropped, and he miscontrolled it, Ronaldo, straight into the path of Piqué, who passed it out of play.
He'll not be happy, Ronaldo.
He certainly won't.
No, because he's getting beat 3, and he was having the sort of the last lap on. He thought, this is our game.
Long way to go yet. Just into the last half hour. Really looking forward to seeing how this will develop on 5 Live from the BBC as Isco pulls the ball back and he's caught there. And is that going to be Cedric into the referee's notebook? No, not yet. We've actually had only 3 yellow cards. Busquets for Spain, Bruno Fernandes and 2 yellow cards. Bruno Fernandes and Busquets for Spain. Free kick. Spain take it back into their own half.
I thought Guerrero got yellow.
No. Portugal with it on the left-hand side. It's swung over towards the penalty spot. Sergio Ramos was able to come across, got his left leg first to it to deflect it behind for, I think this is Portugal's first corner.
Give them credit, they're 3-2 down and they're chasing the game, and Spain have got up the tempo again. They've got sloppy, they've dropped off the pace, and Portugal are on the front foot.
Portugal, who are attacking the end to our right, that is the Black Sea end of the ground. João Moutinho swings it very high towards the back post, where it's nodded across by Gonzalo Guedes, but Spain are able to block it, and now it's taken away by Isco, who was very nearly hauled over there, but he's just about been able to keep his feet. And now Isco twisting and turning. I think it was Bernardo Silva who impeded him on the first occasion when he was breaking away, and referee Rocky is now coming across and
Ramos is having a word with them, saying, well, that's a yellow card, because the first challenge, not well, the second one he's brought him down, but the first one
he was breaking away, but no free kick, just a word of warning. Difficult match to referee this tonight, but it should be said.
It's going to get fiery, isn't it? Portugal are not happy losing 3-2 now, and they're starting to lose their temper a little bit.
Yes. 3-2 to Spain. And Sergio Ramos has beaten Gonzalo Guedes, all ends up there, and then plays it back to David De Gea behind him. And also we should say David De Gea will be feeling a great deal better about things, having made a really poor error actually by a goalkeeper of his standing for Cristiano Ronaldo's second goal just before half-time. Going to see the first change of the match very shortly. Portugal are going to make the first substitution of the match. Spain are in possession, and Sergio Ramos just steers the ball out towards the left-hand side. Isco with a touch. Isco gets it back from David Silva. David Silva, brilliantly, is able to take it away and keep possession as the challenge came in on him from Bruno Fernandes. Wonderful stuff from David Silva. And then Spain go back towards the halfway line. Portugal are going to bring on João Mario, who did quite well, didn't he, at West Ham in the latter part of the season. He was one of those players who was in contention to start on the left-hand side of midfield. Brilliant pass from Sergio Ramos. Then the cross from the right-hand side. Rui Patricio very nearly dropped that into the path of Diego Costa, but he just grabbed it at the second attempt.
Good play by Spain. David Silva, what a turn that was. They've got to look after the ball a bit more, Spain. Good Portugal credit, they've upped the tempo and they're getting the ball back a lot quicker. 25
minutes to play. João Mario still waiting to come on. That'll be the first change for either side. And Spain just playing it back again to David De Gea. He lifts with his right foot. A pass out towards the far side, the Spanish right, and then it's hit long down the right flank. José Font comes across, manages to get a contact on that, bring it down, looked a little uncertain, and then it was played back by Guerrero to goalkeeper Rui Patricio. Now here is William Carvalho. We seem to have been talking about William Carvalho perhaps moving to the Premier League for years and years and years. Maybe it might actually happen this season for William Carvalho, who's one of those sporting players we were talking about in the first half, who may well leave the club. But Portugal have got work to do in this World Cup match. 3-2 down. This is the group, of course, which features Morocco and Iran. So even if things were to stay as they are, Portugal obviously would fancy their chances of still qualifying from this group. But here's Bernardo Silva now trying to do something about it for Portugal. Into the penalty area he goes, but overruns it. That's most unlike him. And Spain are able to take the ball back and play it forward with Isco. And now further back to Koke. And then Jordi Alba actually just whacks it long. This is for Costa to chase, but Portugal have got it.
There's a good position here when Isco gets it, gives it to Costa, he rolls it back, and that was when he was on the halfway lane, just run, because the two centre-halves will not catch Diego Costa. But he didn't, he just waited and they've lost the ball.
Suddenly just a little bit of the sting's gone out of the game, which is probably why João Mario is being introduced by Fernando Santos.
Well, they're trying to get back into the game, the Portugal, and they're not used to coming out, it's not their game. They're in the driving seat twice and they've threw it away.
Pepe hits a high, long pass towards Cristiano Ronaldo on the far side of the ground. His former Real Madrid teammate wins the throw-in. Cristiano Ronaldo. William Carvalho plays it square, and then a little touch. Bernardo Silva in a more central position just at the moment, finds its way out towards the left-hand side. Rafael Guerrero plays it back to William Carvalho, 30 yards out, an angled ball, but that's over the top of its intended target, who is Cedric Suarez, and it's out of play for a throw. And we will finally now see this change, and it is going to be
Bruno Fernandes.
who's coming off. So that is a straight swap, left-sided midfielder for João Mario, who sprints onto the field. João Mario to win his 37th cap for Portugal, and to see if he can help his country back into the game. Number 10, João Mario. Throw into Spain, up nearer to the halfway line, and Spain in this position are in absolutely no hurry, and I think Fernando Hierro is thinking about his first change as well. Yes, he is, and it's Thiago Alcantara, the highly talented Bayern Munich man, who's going to come onto the field for Spain.
Will that be for Iniesta?
Possibly, or the alternative, I was thinking,
would have to play in the middle.
Here comes the ball in towards the edge of the Spanish penalty area, but Piqué is up high to head it away on the edge of the box. Now Isco brings it down in the centre circle. There's not too much support there. Silva turns and plays it back, and Spain are back in possession halfway inside their own half.
Well, they're trying to dictate the pace of the game now, but give Portugal credit. They've hustled them, they've won the ball back, they've not used it particularly great, but Spain just keep getting drawn free kicks, don't they? Portugal fouled far too easy. 2 substitutions.
Yeah, a Portuguese one as well. And will it be Iniesta, or are Portugal going to make the change first? Yes, they are. And Ricardo Quaresma is going to come onto the field. Another one of these experienced heads in this Portuguese squad. This is his 78th cap. Remember his brief spell at Chelsea. So Quaresma is onto the field, and yeah, absolutely right, Chris. It's Iniesta who's played. Well, we're midway through the first half, and Iniesta makes way for Thiago to replace him.
Oh, he's done some fantastic things in this game, but the game's livened up, and they need a little bit more legs in there. And we know what Thiago's got, Bayern Munich player, but good on the ball as well. Uses it very, very well. Good engine.
Quaresma's on for Bernardo Silva, incidentally. I'm not sure I said that. So, yeah, we've not seen the best of Bernardo Silva this evening.
No, but it's hard when...
Well, Ramos has got a stretch for this pass towards the edge of his own penalty area with Ronaldo arriving, but he just got there first.
I think if you play for your club side, you watch it, Man City, they're always on the front foot. Portugal sit back and long periods of this game.
Spain on the attack again, leading by 3-2. Isco, he finds the ball to the newly arrived Thiago on the left-hand side. Now David Silva takes it on. Jordi Alba on the overlap, plays it in, and the shot across the face of goal. Hat-trick chance for Diego Costa, but he steered it wide from 8 yards.
That's how good Spain are. They've not done anything for about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and all of a sudden they just go through the gears. David Silva heavily involved, and Costa, what a chance for a hat-trick. Great chance on his left foot, pulled back for him. He's just got to hit the target. Scuffs it.
Yeah, there were defenders there, but that was a chance to make it 4-2. And I think if Spain scored a 4th goal, that would be the end of it as a contest. Although, can you ever say that with Cristiano Ronaldo on the field? And here he is, tall, white boots, almost glides over the surface, Cristiano Ronaldo, as he plays the ball. And here's Quaresma involved in the action for the first time, and his cross is blocked immediately by Jordi Alba behind for a Portuguese corner.
Well, Quaresma's got a lot of talent. Played his trade in Portugal and Greece. Turkey.
Corner is taken quickly by Quaresma, and now it's curled into the back post by João Moutinho. It's headed right back across the face of goal. Ronaldo is after it. He was being challenged, and the ball bounces down and is being whacked out of play for a throw-in to Portugal. There is that height in the Portuguese side, and of course Ronaldo himself is so dangerous in the air. Here's Quaresma again, looking for the delivery Portugal are from him. Fernando Santos, their European Championship winning coach 2 years ago. Isco tries to run it away and then is challenged by João Moutinho, and it's a throw into Spain halfway inside the own half.
Isco can get them out of trouble at the minute. He picks it up in deep areas and he's running 20-30 yards every time he gets it, gets them up the field. Spain basically have got to liven up, but give Portugal credit here. They're really up the tempo, and Spain playing too slow.
However, they lead by 3-2. Nacho scoring what at the moment would be the match-winning goal. Brilliant strike from 22, 23 yards out, that pinged in off a post. Here's Thiago, back to Sergio Ramos. They've got that swagger again, Spain. Throwing down the gauntlet to Portugal to challenge them and do something about it, but so comfortable in possession as Ramos goes for a brilliant pass out towards the right-hand side, and he found Nacho as well, who has managed to wriggle away from the challenge and played infield, where it's touched by Busquets, and now back centrally to Koke. David Silva and Koke just ping a couple of passes to one another, and now Sergio Ramos with his right foot finds the pass to the left-hand side to Jordi Alba, always keen to come forward and join the attack, plays it at the edge of the area. Diego Costa, though, his touch just let him down in the D on the edge of the penalty area, and Portugal have got it back.
Watch Spain when they move it like that. I mean, you'll not see better football anyway, and one-touch football, movement, everything you want.
Still 3-2 to Spain. BBC 5 Live. The US Open, by the way, will have commentary and coverage from Shinnecock Hills tonight from 9:30 on 5 Live UK time, and then the commentary continues over on Sports Extra from 10 o'clock. If you've just switched the radio on, Dustin Johnson, a round of 67 today, has put him in a very strong position. Tommy Fleetwood, a 66 from him, but Ian Carter, Oliver Wilson and Andrew Cotter, our team there, will bring you that coverage, as I say, once we've wrapped up tonight's World Cup action. And it has just settled down. Maybe they're just gearing themselves up, Chris, for the last 15 minutes or so to put on another exhibition for us. Here's Isco, who plays the ball back into central defence. Jordi Alba, and then Sergio Ramos passes it forward towards Koke.
They always look like they've got so much time on the ball, don't they? Saying they're good players, I suppose, but it just, Portugal have really tried up the tempo and they still can't get near them at times. It's wonderful to watch.
They have been brilliant, haven't they, over the last decade or so, the way they've entertained us. And now here's Thiago, who strongly runs forward with the ball, shrugs off the challenge that came in on him. And now Isco on the left-hand side drives it towards the dead ball line. The challenge does come in and is played away by Cedric, and then Quaresma wins a free kick. Soft free kick, really, as he knew the challenge was coming in on him, so Portugal have a free kick halfway inside their own half. I mean, in our early days of working together at tournaments, Spain had that reputation, didn't they? I remember very well sitting in the sweltering conditions, possibly with Pat Nevin, who's back in our Moscow studio watching this game tonight, as South Korea knocked them out of the World Cup with all of the contentious decisions, and we wondered to ourselves, will Spain ever do it at major tournament level? And they certainly have. Here's Quaresma on the right-hand side. Quaresma crossing for Portugal, but it's blocked out of play for a throw-in. 10 yards away from the yellow flag, which is hanging rather limply. Throw-in taken to Quaresma, who drives it goalwards in his trademark style with the outside of his boot, but it flies away by a yard over the top of the bar.
Well, he had three coming in, 3 red shirts in the box here. Could he have just fizzed that across the goal for someone to get on the end of it? Very ambitious outside the right foot.
That's what he does, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's his trademark.
That's his trademark, with the outside of his boot swirling it goalwards. Portugal 2, Spain 3. And long clearance downfield for Spain to Diego Costa. They really are using that option of Costa against Font and Pepe. Doesn't work this time.
Pepe this time got one back on Costa there. I think he budged him over and nudged him over, but the referee said play on in his substitution.
Another change as the ball's out of play for a throw into Portugal on the far side. It's Spain's second change, and Iago Aspas,
yes, Costa,
is going to take the place of Diego Costa, who won't get a hat-trick tonight, but he scored his first 2 goals at a World Cup this evening, and this has been the Diego Costa we've watched tonight that we watched when he was so effective at Chelsea.
Yeah, to be fair, there's been times in the game where he's been out of it. He's made runs, I've watched him, he's made decent runs, but Spain don't play them balls down the sides and ask you to chase. And when they have done it, he's been very, very effective. He's caused problems.
So, Iago Aspas, who, remember that little spell that he had at Liverpool when it looked as though, would things work out for him? But eventually he's turned into a really effective goal scorer at Celta Vigo. Yep. 23 goals this season, 26 goals last season when they did so well in the Europa League. And I remember very well, as you will, Chris, him scoring that excellent goal when he made his debut for Spain at Wembley against England. Very talented player, 30 years old now. And he's on the field, Diego Costa off, and it's still Portugal 2, Spain 3, with just under a quarter of an hour to play with the added time. So Spain have made 2 changes, and Portugal still have one up their sleeve.
Well, come up to 78 minutes, so it's Portugal who's got to try and change it. They're getting beat. I think Spain at the minute are quite happy to slow the game down. Possession, if they get the opportunity to score a goal, they'll take it obviously, but at the minute they're quite happy trying to dominate the ball and keeping it.
They are going to bring on André Silva, Chris, Portugal.
Up front.
Yeah, the young lad, 22 years old, who plays for Milan, AC Milan, and was very effective with Ronaldo in the qualifiers.
Great, there's a go off the centre forward.
Yeah,
I think he's worked hard.
Ball downfield for Ronaldo. Oh, De Gea's come a long way. Defender was in there as well. They managed to block it between them. Spain picked up the loose ball, but the whistle's gone for a free kick. I thought De Gea there again was going to make an error, as
I did as well.
He came for it. He came a long way for it. Ronaldo very nearly got there first.
Ramos.
And Sergio Ramos might have got the crucial touch in there as it dropped over the head. Piqué came across, and he was sandwiched between Ronaldo and David De Gea.
Piqué gets up and then decides to fall back down again. Look, now it's Piqué. Now watch what happens. Look, he gets up.
I'm just wondering whether that might have been given as a free kick for Quaresma on Sergio Ramos as the ball bounced.
Yeah.
Piqué went in there where it would potentially hurt.
That's the goalkeeper, that note for me. The goalkeeper's got to put a name on it nice and early. Then there's no collision, there's no problem, there's no trouble. But he looks very nervous, doesn't he, De Gea?
Yep. And we heard Guillaume mention the couple of mistakes that he's made. Here's the change now. Yeah. So André Silva is on to replace Gonçalo Guedes.
Yep.
So that is Portugal's final change. André Silva, who's got a decent goal-scoring record for Portugal, as I said, did well in the qualifiers, so he's got 12 goals in his previous 22 appearances for the Portuguese national side.
Struggled at Milan, didn't he?
This season, yeah. De Gea, with Spain leading by 3-2. They've done well, though, Spain, in terms of managing the game since they went 3-2 up. There's always the threat, the more than latent threat of Cristiano Ronaldo, but through sheer possession, really, as much as anything else. And the point I was making about Spain's tournament play over the last 10 years, this is the Spain that we saw, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When they won the Euros, and just controlled matches. And now Isco centrally. So many people now inside the fished stadium have put the lights on their mobile phones for some reason, with 10 minutes to play. So we've got twinkling lights all around this arena with over 43,000 people inside it, as Spain still continue to have possession. Fernando Hierro, tall figure, 50 years old, a Spanish institution really, and a little bit of a Bolton Wanderers cult figure from the time that he had there under Sam Allardyce, right at the end of his career, where he made a very positive impact. I remember he's watching on as his Spanish team are minutes away from an opening win at this World Cup.
This is just great play by Spain.
And now a couple of step overs from Thiago. Spain exchanging Portugal just can't get the ball off them.
Oh, it's great play. There's not many teams can do this, John, I tell you. This is people may say it looks boring, whatever, but you try and chase him when you're getting beat 3-2. You only need 2 or 3 of your team not to start chasing, and it's game over. And at the minute, I think there's 3 or 4 Portugal players sick of trying to get this ball off Spain.
Spain at the moment, in the central third of the field, are just passing first-time balls around the Portuguese midfield. And Cristiano Ronaldo is you can almost feel him glowering as he watches this. Brilliant ball through. Now to the edge of the area. Iago Aspas hits the shot from the edge of the box, but it was straight at Rui Patricio after David Silva's pass through to him.
That would have been one of the best goals you'll ever see, that. How many passes was that? 30, 40?
Dozens. Portugal 2, Spain 3. And Fernando Santos down there turns, puts his hands in his pockets, and he looks almost like he's a man he's made his final change now. He can't alter this, and the frustrating thing is that his team can't get the ball back from Spain. But if you remember the Euros 2 years ago, they made a faltering start, didn't they, in their 3 group matches, just drew them all, and Cristiano Ronaldo almost single-handedly and through sheer will was able to guide them through to the final, and they came through with that surprise, that shock-winning goal from Eder against the hosts France. Ball bounces out of play.
It's a
throw-in to Cristiano Ronaldo was going to take the throw-in, and Fernando Hierro just pulled his arm, and now Cristiano Ronaldo throwing the ball at Jordi Alba, Barcelona man, from 4 or 5 yards, and Jordi Alba says, what are you doing? Just wastes a few more seconds. Stupid, really, by Ronaldo.
Well, that's a yellow card as well, isn't it? Petulance.
Just as well you're not refereeing tonight.
Yeah, but they give you all these rules and they never obeyed by them, do they? So what is the point?
It would have been
you sat here for 5 hours listening to it and they've never did one thing they said they were going to do.
Spain in possession inside the Portuguese half. Here's one for David Silva to chase, but it'll be played back by Font to Rui Patricio, who clears it from the ground up towards the halfway line. Flick header forward towards Ronaldo, and now it's stabbed out towards the right-hand side. I thought that was a little late by Sergio Ramos as the ball was played away by Andres Silva. No free kick though, it's only a throw-in to Spain.
Sub.
Final change.
11.
And Fernando Hierro has got his arm round Lucas Vazquez. Not coming on yet though, because the ball's back in play. Here's Iago Aspas on the left-hand side. Turns and plays it back towards Thiago. Now Sergio Busquets, who hit the pass of the night, didn't he? Yeah. For Diego Costa in the build-up to the opening Spanish goal. They now lead by 3-2. Spain should win this, but I'm not entirely ruling out Portugal and Ronaldo coming up with something spectacular.
He's bringing on Vasquez. David Silva coming off.
That's a poor header away by Cedric, and now Spain are back in possession. It's lifted over the top by Iago Aspas, but Silva was going one way and the ball went the other.
Silva's coming off, is he?
Yeah, he is. One of the older heads, of course, 32 years old. So Lucas Vazquez, who was part of Real Madrid's 3 in a row just the other week when we were there in Kiev, is going to come on to replace him.
Yep, pacey, likes to play Wade, likes to run with the ball, and it's just a matter of game management, isn't it? Look, even they've just told Jordi Alba, just said to David Silva, don't jog off, just walk.
Yeah.
Slow it down. It's 85 minutes to come up to.
Taking as long as they can, less than 5 minutes to play. This is 5 Live at the World Cup. And we'll have more, of course, tomorrow during the course of the day from the England camp when Caroline Barker is there. We'll be in Volgograd on Monday with all of the build-up as Portugal played up towards Cristiano Ronaldo. The contact was minimal from Piqué from behind, but down went Ronaldo and the free kick's been given, and Portugal have got a free kick. Ronaldo has got a free kick in a great position.
Well, it's a silly challenge by Piqué. He's going nowhere, he's got his back to goal, he's going the other way, and I know he's going to take this, don't we? And I don't think he scores that many goals from free kicks, though, does he? No, I've said that, he'll go in the top corner, but I've never really saw him score many free kicks.
When he does, though, do you remember the one that he scored against Portsmouth at Old Trafford?
Pull the shorts up, look.
Up goes shorts, right? He means business here, Chris.
Looking at the big screen.
Yeah, he's on it, don't worry. It's just slightly right of centre, 23 yards out. Ronaldo's ready for this. He's ready for it. Sochi is ready for it. He's going for the hat-trick to make it 3-3. Referee Rocky is just telling the wall they must be behind the line and they mustn't react before the whistle. And the referee walks back into Ronaldo. We're ready now. Ronaldo's ready. Here he goes with the free kick. It's in! Hat-trick Cristiano Ronaldo! It flew past De Gea. And it's 3-3. His first hat-trick at a World Cup. And a brilliant celebration with his Portuguese teammates. Spain thought they'd done enough, but they hadn't done enough for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wow, what a free kick. I say he didn't score many, he'll put in the top corner. Wow, you don't say them. I know De Gea's been at fault for one of the goals, but you're not going to get any of that. The wall jumped as well. The wall jumps, look, it's a big wall, he just goes around the outside of it, and it's what, probably a yard inside the top corner. Just strikes it lovely. He doesn't try to put too much pace on it, but De Gea just can't get there, nowhere near it.
What a day in the life of Cristiano Ronaldo. Just the usual sort of day. It emerges that he has been done for tax evasion in Spain. So that obviously has created something of a wow back in Spain. And then he walks into Sochi and he scores 3 goals, including an 88th minute equaliser against Spain.
Brilliant. Well, you can't say anything about the ball. What can you say? Bust records everywhere, doesn't he? He just seems to love beating records, and there's an offside now for Spain. Portugal, I think, are very happy to take a point. They're not rushing to take this free kick, and rightly so. A lot of tired players out there. It's a very, very hot evening, and Cristiano Ronaldo will get all the headlines again.
Yep. Front pages and back pages. Every page.
Ronaldo magazine.
Special Ronaldo pull-out.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, souvenir edition. And they'll be talking about him all over the world, as he today has become the first Portuguese player to play at 4 World Cups, and now he's upping that statistics rate of goals at a World Cup finals. It was 3 in 13 appearances before today, so that makes it 6 in 14. That looks a lot better from Cristiano Ronaldo's point of view. Well, it's been a memorable night, hasn't it? With one thing and another, but to see a goal like that from Cristiano Ronaldo, that was special.
Oh, saw some good goals, haven't we? Let's be honest. I mean, Nacho's goal wasn't bad, was it? Costa's goal wasn't bad. So, yeah. And we thought coming here, didn't we? We hoped these two teams would turn it on, and they have.
Yeah. Good for the tournament as well, I think, to stress the importance of attacking play and positive play.
Chance corner.
It's not finished yet.
No, it's a corner. Centre-halves are coming forward.
And 45 minutes are almost up. I think it's going to be 4 minutes of added time. So still time for a winner.
4 it is.
It is 4. Short. Corner is taken short by Portugal. And then it's touched across to João Mario. And then looked like a late challenge. But it's driven across now from the left-hand side for Portugal. It's behind, deflected behind Rafael's cross. It's another corner to Portugal, who are pressing for a winner here. Wouldn't that be a turn-up? He couldn't score 4 goals, Ronaldo, could he?
He could.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Portugal are in no hurry. Quaresma's actually gone across there. Again, it might be taken short between him and Guerrero. It is, and Guerrero crosses. It's a high boomer over everyone inside the penalty area, and actually they'll do well to keep it in play. They do. Font steers it back towards the halfway line. We've got 3 minutes of added time to play. If you've just joined us on 5 Live, you've missed quite a night. Portugal 3, Spain 3 in this group, in which earlier today Iran won 1-0 against Morocco. Iran are going to be top of the group,
and they're in.
Yeah, it's a ball to the left-hand side. This is dangerous. What a brilliant run! But in the end, it was blocked. The shot, after the initial effort from Quaresma, who beat 2 men, and his shot was blocked by the final man inside the area. Now on the right-hand side, the deep cross from the right flank from Cedric has gone a long way. Guerrero has kept it in. Portugal are going for this, you know. And then it comes. Ronaldo with a header, but he sent it wide.
Was it not a free kick as well? A push
by Ronaldo.
Good finish. Portugal have finished strong. Spain have lost their way, haven't they? Since that goal's gone in, there's 4 or 5 of them just switched off.
Yeah, and Quaresma with the chance that he had there.
That was a great run, wasn't it? Great bit of skill.
Portugal 3, Spain 3. US Open commentary on the way from round about 9:30 on 5 Live. We'll round up the one-day international in Canterbury as well.
Ronaldo's down.
Has he got a little bit of cramp, do you think? Or has he taken a knock in that last challenge? He's going to be helped to his feet by Sergio Ramos, his clubmate, his fellow captain tonight.
He's holding his ankle. I don't know if he's turned it, and that last cross what came in. And we've used the subs. There's the free kick again, replay. Wow,
brilliant. That was a great angle. We've just seen it again.
Yep. Normally tries to put too much pace on them and they go everywhere. That was just really nice. He just struck it nice. Didn't try to blast it. Nice contact.
And David De Gea was a spectator. He could only watch it.
He got no
to his left. In fact, it was like some of those World Cup goals you remember from the 80s. Some of the Brazilian goals that were scored. And indeed Argentina 78 when they flew in from all sorts of angles and the goalkeeper just stood and watched them on the line. Portugal 3, Spain 3. We're in the final minute of added time. Think Ronaldo's all right, Chris?
Yeah, just trying to slow the game down.
Yeah, they'll happily take this from the position that they were in. 3-2 down with 87 minutes on the clock. Now it's 3-3 and Portugal. Spain have tired. I mean, it's been an emotional week for the Spanish.
Yep.
Tears here, tears in Spain.
I mean, they've had spells, John, in the game where they've been brilliant to watch. But it just shows you, it's about 90 minutes. It's not about 20 minutes here and 10 minutes there. It's managing the 90 minutes, and they haven't done it very well tonight.
5 Live will have the World Cup daily podcast available for you in the morning. And also we've got this new innovation as well with the smart speaker. So be aware of that. This game still not over because Spain in possession on the right-hand side, but it's whacked away out of play on the far side. We've had well over the 4 minutes of added time.
It's got to be it.
Yeah, that must be it as the ball runs out of play for another throw. Gianluca Rocchi looks at his watch and 3-3 is the final score. Or is it? No, we're still playing on.
He doesn't want it to stop now. That's been that good.
Yeah, that's a throw in for Portugal, halfway inside their own half, but I think this surely must be the last action. Played almost 5 minutes of added time. There it goes, and there is the final whistle now in Sochi. What an entertaining evening it's been. 3-3, and Cristiano Ronaldo is a World Cup hat-trick man for the first time.
Brilliant. Well, you know what he's like. He rates the headlines every time he plays. He tries to get headlines, and he's got them again tonight. He's all right. He had a bit of good fortune with a pen in my eyes, but he put it away brilliantly. The second goal was a De Gea mistake, but the third one, you can't take anything away from it. Great finish, great free kick, brilliant. Nobody saves them. But give Spain looked great in periods, really good in periods, but they couldn't sustain it. And when they come off the pace, Spain, they looked very, very vulnerable, and it showed that when Portugal kept tracking and getting it. Well, it got what he was at the end.
And Fernando Hierro, in his first match, as the acting head coach walks rather calmly out onto the pitch, handshakes for his players, says, I want you to go over there and thank all of the Spanish supporters who've come such a long way to support you. As I say, it's been an emotional 48 hours for Spain, for Hierro. They could have won it, they could have lost it, they've drawn it. And 3-3 is the final score. Portugal 3, Spain 3, and let's bring in Mark Chapman and co from Moscow.